This is the 2022 version of the Volvo XC90 Recharge. It is the hybrid plug-in version, and the asking price on this particular model, the R design trim level, is $79,219.99. Of course, with the training you can receive free from the FindTheBestCarPrice.com website, you have a pretty good chance of lowering that price. And if you're wondering what's new for 2022 with this model, there are two changes. Number one, navigation is now standard on all trim levels, all versions of the XC90, and you will find that the R design is only available with what we're looking at today, and that is the Recharge. If you are looking for exactly what the R design package gives this XC90, check out the description of the video after you've finished watching, of course, and you will be able to see the full list. Just to give you a quick look here at the LED lights, headlights, all the good stuff you have here as far as the overall design. And yes, for those who may want to know, there are turn signal indicators built into these heated power folding side view mirrors, just so you can see that. And obviously this is the plug-in hybrid. Where do you plug in? Right here. And of course the model is going to come with everything you need to use this, what you need, the cord and everything, so no worries about that. Very easy to access, just basically the same thing as accessing the gas door on the vehicle as well, which is going to be on the passenger side. Without being the R design package, these would be 20-inch wheels, but the R design adds 22-inch wheels in this case. You will also find window tint from the dealership that is by Expel. And I have the roof rails up there. And something interesting here, I often talk about the fact that this rear roof spoiler is meant to channel air over this back window, and you can't really see as well right now. I don't think there's some spots on here right now. Those are water spots. I had this vehicle washed before I drove it to the filming location, so the back window stayed pretty wet for a while because of the fact that, like I say, this is going to channel air over this rear window to keep it clean when you're driving down the road. And just a quick look back here at the rear taillights, but let's get into the obvious questions that everybody's going to have, the meat and potatoes. Let's talk about what's under the hood and what kind of performance you can expect. Okay, here we go. We're going to have a combination here under the hood. If you've never seen this before, here's exactly what we have. Of course, you're going to have that electric motor. You're also going to have the 2-liter 4-cylinder gas engine, and combined horsepower between the two is pretty stout at 400 horsepower. 472 pound-feet of torque. And one thing that's different here compared to a lot of hybrid models that I've reviewed in the past, you do not, I said do not, have a CVT, so the continuously variable transmission, not here. It is an 8-speed automatic. Now, just to give you a good look at what we have here as far as the mileage goes, here is everything that you have. Obviously, there are going to be some differences whether or not you're running on gas only or if you're running in electric mode. You have that combination going on. Here are the numbers right here. I'll just let you take a look at that. Obviously, there is going to be a difference, but hey, that's a good thing. Obviously, you're going to save a lot of gas with this model. One of my favorite features with these Volvo SUVs, something that comes standard on each and every one, is the fact that you have the hands-free tailgate. And we're going to take a quick look at what we have here with this 3-row SUV. Do have a little bit of space under the floor here. It's going to be kind of hard for me to get all that up one-handed, I think. Let's just see if I can show you a little bit of that. One thing I know a lot of you might not like so much, you don't have a spare tire. You do have a tire repair kit in this particular instance. Let's talk a little bit about towing and cargo space. The towing numbers come in at a rather impressive 5,000 pounds. And depending on where your seats are, if they're folded down flat or if they're in their upright position, the numbers are going to range between 12.6 and 55.5 cubic feet. And right down here is the release for the seat here. If I can get that to come all the way down, we'll do that on just one side, just so you can see, but that's how you're going to maximize your cargo space. Now, one thing you might wonder about, I've never shown this in a video before, but let's say maybe your kids were sitting back here and their legs were hanging off and somehow the rear tailgate starts coming down. someone hits the button accidentally, or maybe one of the other kids is trying to play a prank or something like that, what would happen? There is a safety feature built in to where the sensor is going to pick up that something is down there, and it's not going to go ahead and close all the way down on the kids or anything else you might not want that to happen to. Just something I thought I would show in case you were curious. And just a quick look here into the interior, we'll take a look at how much space there is truly available for your rear seat passengers. Just a look into the door bin there. I see the contrast stitching. And as I showed you, there was a reason earlier why I showed you the lever right here that allows you to fold the seat flat. And that's because a lot of people, depending on what your situation has been with past vehicles, might go right here to do that. That is actually how you're going to move the seat up and out of the way. Kind of hard to do that one-handed. There we go, got it moved out of the way. That's a little hard to do with the camera and the gimbal in the other hand. So let's just kind of do this in a real-time way. And I apologize that this may not be the best shot, might be a little bit shaky, but while it looks like I don't have a lot of space back here, here's the advantage. These seats in the middle row area here can be moved forward, so you can increase the space if your rear seat passenger so desire. Maybe a better space for the kids back here, but just so you know what's here, that's what you have, and those are the options. You got the cup holder right there and an air conditioning vent. You have quad zone climate control in this vehicle. And just to give you an idea of the different positions you can put these middle row seats in, actually have them in 3 different positions just so you can see what's there. And of course you're going to adjust everything. It's gonna be really hard for me to get down to the angle where I think you can see it. Maybe we can do it this way, but obviously there is a manual release right here that allows you to move those, or your middle row seat passengers to move those back and forth. And as we take a look at the air conditioning vent with the quad zone climate control, everybody will have their own vents. So plenty of airflow back here, and you can control everything right here. Like I said, it is quad zone, so you've got dual zone for the rear, and again, dual zone in the front. Also going to have connectivity right here. And I don't have it open at the moment, but you can see the panoramic sunroof. I've got the shade closed at the moment so we don't get too much light back here. And the bottle test, see how much space you have there. You can actually hide those away to close and conceal the armrest that you can fold down. Of course, bottle holders there. Conventional bottle looks like it fits just fine. That looks like that's about as much as you can get in there. Maybe a little bit larger coffee cup or something along those lines. Now, if you didn't see it earlier, I did show the price, but if you're asking what exactly is the price, $79,719.99. You're gonna get a lot for that price, including something you don't see on some luxury SUVs, and that is seat memory. 3 different settings right here on the passenger side door, which it'd be a given you're gonna have that on the driver's side door as well. And just a quick look into the interior here, of course, you're gonna have power driver and passenger seats. And if you're wondering how to open that glove box, there is no release right there. It's actually right here. So you're gonna push that button right there on the center of the dashboard, and your glove box will open. And the main area of business for you owners, obviously gonna be the driver's seat. Again, there is your memory setting for the seats, all that good stuff. Everything's very well made and actually very soft. Sometimes you'll get these armrests that are not soft. I don't know if you can tell how far I can press down into that. Large door bin, and of course your fully adjustable steering wheel, tilt and telescopically. There's another one of the options for opening and or closing the rear tailgate right there, and the gas door, which is located, like I said earlier, on the passenger side. And there is one of the most underused areas right there that comes standard on all vehicles and all trim levels, the blinker option. When you're turning to the right or changing lanes to the right, push that into the up position before you start to move. That way people around you know what you're doing, and the same thing into the down position when you're doing that kind of stuff to the left, in case you wondered what that was for. Just taking a look here at the steering wheel mounted controls. Over here, I can't get quite as sarcastic about the control lever over here on the right hand side of the steering wheel for the functionality of the windshield wipers. And here is the infotainment screen. Some people say that's very difficult to use, but honestly, I have found that it's really not that bad. And a lot of good information here for this particular vehicle that obviously you won't see in others that are not the hybrid powertrain. and it tells you what's going on with the vehicle, all that good stuff. And you know, the mileage doesn't look like it's all that high because this model hasn't been driven very much. And let's take a look at the clarity of the rear view camera. You're going to have quite a few different options here. You can turn different things on and off depending on what you want to do. You also have the 360-degree view that's going to let you know what's going on with the vehicle. And if you want to, of course, you can zoom in. Let's see if we can do that. There we go, just so that we can see what is there. So a very easy system to use, and so obviously you can take a look at pretty much anything you want to. And the bottle test one more time here. As you can see, our bottles fit right there. And if you're wondering about connectivity, I don't know how well you can see it right here, there are a couple of USB ports there also. And if you're new to the Volvo and you're wondering about how you start and stop the engine, it's right here. It's just a dial, basically. I wouldn't even call that a button, but you can go in here and start the vehicle and get everything up and running right there as long as you have the remote. So obviously there is no key for this model. Okay, as we get out on our test drive, I'll show you a quick look at the driving modes. One other thing that has changed for 2022 is the fact that you no longer have a drive mode selector. If you saw that in the past, it was basically just kind of a scroll wheel that you rolled back and forth to select between modes, and then you push down on it to make your selection once you got to whatever mode you wanted to. Now that is in the infotainment screen, and I'll show you where that is and what the driving modes are. Also, if for whatever reason you need to start the gas engine and run off of that, there is an option there as well to do that, whether it's for charging or whatever the case may be. You can see that on the screen as well. Still going to control the air conditioning functions through the infotainment screen as well. So one thing I always like to recommend, you never know who's checking out the comments section on these videos. That is one of the ways that these car makers keep up with what the consumer is interested in seeing change for upcoming models and upcoming years. So if you would like to see something such as, say, some actual physical controls for the air conditioner, well, you can always leave a comment down in the comment section on this video. That's always a good idea, really nothing to lose. So overall, a fun driving experience. Very, very comfortable. The handling is very good. It really makes me think of more of a high-performance SUV. And, well, I don't know that I would really refer to this model as high performance, although 400 horsepower is not exactly shy. The handling itself, good. Obviously, you can drive in all-wheel drive. Quite a few different features and functionality that help make driving the vehicle. Let's get that right. We don't want to get hit in the comments section for using bad grammar. Just one of those things when you're shooting on the fly like this and don't want to restart the entire scene because you made one mistake. But everything is easy to use here. I know a lot of people, I see it often when I research these vehicles from Volvo before I do a video with one. They'll talk about how difficult the infotainment screen is to use and to learn. Again, I'm curious to get your feedback. For you current Volvo owners, what do you think about that? In my personal experience, I've made videos with quite a few of these models. I don't think it's that bad once you get used to it. It's like anything else. Once you're used to it, I think it's pretty easy to use. So, I don't know, it just depends, I guess, on what you come from and what you're used to prior to maybe using Volvo's infotainment system. But always curious to get your feedback. Now, let's talk a little bit about drivability as far as the gas pedal. Very responsive to the touch of your foot. I like that. The brake pedal is very manageable. If you came from a vehicle into one of these XC90s, for example, what do I mean by what I just said? You don't have a steep learning curve to get used to the feel of the brake pedal and how that coincides with how harsh the braking experience may be, or maybe how soft it may be. Sometimes you have kind of a mismatch of either a brake pedal that is too aggressive or maybe too soft. Here I think it has a pretty good balance. It's not too soft and it's not too aggressive. Seems very manageable to me. So just one of those things that you might want to know about. Of course, you're going to have features such as the heated steering wheel that at the moment we don't necessarily need. The high today in Northwest Louisiana is 88 degrees. So heated steering wheel, definitely not. Also the heated seats, that's a no for today. But I think we're gonna have a drop in temperature soon, so it might be a little bit more usable in the near future. But obviously it's good to know about those sorts of features. There are so many features here as far as the safety features and what the R design offers. That's again down in the description of the video if you want to see that. I don't want to name off every single one of those things because obviously we don't want to make the video too terribly long. And now that we've finished our tour of the Volvo XC90 Recharge, check out the link to our website in the description of the video. No matter what model of vehicle you're planning to buy, what you'll find there is, of course, a lot of information on a multitude of vehicles, but you'll also find our free training that will teach you how to contact the dealerships via email, basically going about doing business the same way that a professional auto broker would do so. And what happens with that process is that you will ultimately get a bidding war started between those car dealerships for your business. That means that you're going to get the best deal possible. The training is completely free. Make sure to check that out. And when you have success, make sure to tell us all about it because we want to hear from you. Thanks for taking the time to watch, guys, and I'll see you in our next video.